today, as we've been noting, the posters in Hostage Square, that gathering place, are now saying they're coming home. A moment where there were moments, agonizing moments, moments of profound pain, when some of the families worried, feared that they would never see this day, the day when they would embrace their loved ones again. In the last few moments, it has been confirmed that all of the 20 living hostages have been handed over by Hamas to the International Committee of the Red Cross. They're on their way back to Israel. We'll confirm when they are all back home. But we do know that 7 in the first batch to be released are now home. Let's just put some names and details on the first 7 on this momentous day of the first phase of an important deal. 25-year-old Etan Moore was working as a security guard at the Nova Festival in southern Israel, that day when a celebration turned into a slaughter. His father, Moore, said that he had saved dozens of people before he himself was kidnapped and dragged into Gaza by Hamas gunmen. And then there are the twins, Gali and Ziv Berman, brothers who were abducted from the kibbutz Kfar Aza with their neighbor, Emily Damari, British-Israeli. Ziv was held with Emily for 40 days before they were separated. Emily was released in January 2025 during the second ceasefire and handover of hostages, which then broke down in March. And then 48-year-old Omri Miran, the oldest of the hostages. He was abducted from his home in Nahal Oz, a kibbutz which suffered terribly, like many of the others. His wife, Lishai, said she last saw him in one of those terrible videos being driven away in his own car, being driven away into the darkness of Gaza in captivity. She and their 2 young daughters, Roni and Alma, were not taken with them. They managed to stay safe, to evade capture on that day. 24-year-old Alon Ohel, who's like all the hostages, has captured Israeli hearts, a pianist who was aspiring to become a world-class musician with Israeli, German, and Serbian citizenship. Hamas footage had shown him being taken away as a hostage from the Nova Music Festival. 11 of the 20 still alive were in some way involved in that festival. Last month, Alon's family approved the publication of a still from a new video, which they said showed he had gone blind in one eye. And just to point out that in that square that you're seeing on the other side of the screen, there is this piano in tribute to Ohel, the pianist, people playing songs, and they're waiting for Ohel to come and play for them again. This is a photograph of Guy Gilboa Dalal, 24-year-old, who also attended the music festival with his brother Gal, who said the last time they saw each other was just before Hamas launched its first barrage of rockets into Israel at the start of the attack. Gal evaded the gunmen on the ground, but Guy was kidnapped, and today his family refused to take a call from Hamas when he was still in captivity. They didn't want Hamas to be given any credit for this hostage release. But a family which did take the call was that of 22-year-old Matan Angrest, an Israeli Defense Forces soldier. He was in a tank that was attacked near the Gaza perimeter fence on that dark day of 7th of October. A video showed a crowd pulling him from the tank, unconscious and injured. Those they are, the first 7 of the 20 hostages who have survived their ordeal, held captive in the Gaza Strip, who survived the horrific events of October the 7th, but were dragged into Gaza. Those 7 are now home and now in the arms of their immediate family members. They're getting immediate treatment, and they will start the long process of recovery. And we're starting to get some images of those first moments of contact between the Israeli hostages released and their families. Here's just a snapshot of Inav Zangarkar's video call with her son, Matan Angrast.
כולה מאמי נגמר.
זהו, נגמרה המלחמה.
She's saying, thank God the war is over, you're coming home. She's saying there was more emotion from the rest of his family too as they watched the release from Ichilov Hospital, one of the 5 hospitals where medical staff are poised to receive the hostages, not sure what kind of condition they're in, what kind of physical condition, what kind of emotional condition. Matan and his girlfriend, Ilana, Matan and his girlfriend Ilana were abducted from their home in Near Oz. Look at those images, the screaming. Ilana was released in November 2023 in the first exchanges of hospital. Another call now between Elkanah Vahot and his mother. Everything is okay, calm down, he tells her as he stands alongside a Hamas soldier. His wife and 4-year-old son are waiting with his parents at the army base in Reim. Lots of emotion in the room. Look at that. Unbearable, unbridled joy. Friends and family have gathered to celebrate his return. These kind of emotional scenes in rooms across this nation, these scenes going right around the world, intense emotion, whatever your politics is on this war, whatever your concerns about this process going forward, this is a moment of intense emotion. The reunion at last of the hostages with their family members, the outpouring of joy, the spilling of tears, a moment many feared they would never see.